Alright, hello everybody, Mr. Moreno here, and we're doing a thing today. We are gonna go through the Unstable Exposure, the build I created for Season 13. And the entire idea behind the build is I was getting kind of bored with the Bolkuna from Season 12. The build is amazing and was amazing in Season 12. There was a lot of perfect mechanics, like the telemetry mechanic where we were overhealing all the time and thereby popping our shield all the time. Or Havin with the defensive structure. Everything in Season 12 was super cool for the build. They started season 13, a lot of hatred, but a lot of things changed in the way that we manage our powers and our attack speeds and critical strike chances and trigger points and everything. And I couldn't seem to get Bolkuna to work, so I choose to mess around with the mechanics, and it took me days just to figure out trigger mechanics and stuff like that. And I chose to go with a build where we use Blizzard as a trigger mechanic. Blizzard is a damage over time spell, so it cannot critical strike. But due to Unstable Current, we can use it as a trigger point, and it has a pretty high cast speed. And everything in this build is based around Lucky Hit. And a lot of people seem to not understand the Lucky Hit mechanics in Diablo 2. So you know what, guys, let's change screen, and I'll try to explain them to you, just, cut down to the bone. So in Diablo 4 there's two mechanics when it comes to Lucky Hit, and they're put into two groups. The first one is your Lucky Hit chance on your cast spell, and the second one is your Lucky Hit trigger. That is also on your spells, but it can also come from items. And you can see one of the examples down here in the right corner. So, Blizzard has a Lucky Hit chance of 65%. So, when you're calculating this, it's like rolling a dice. It's a yes or no. And in this case, we have a 2 out of 3 times of rolling yes due to percentage. And if yes, we have a 32% chance of spawning a ball lightning. On top of that spawning, we have a 20% chance of spawning another ball, but I will come back to that later. Alright? And right now I'm actually farming. I'm farming for gems right now. And I chose to include this because just so you can see how versatile this build is. You can see the time on Unstable Current. My Unstable Current is, I can't remember. Let's take a look here. I think it's 65 or something. Yeah, 65 seconds. So, and the way we trigger this Unstable Current mechanism, because if we do not pick up enough crackling energy, the build has a simple mechanic built into it, where instead of just waiting around, we're actually spawning Hydras when we're farming, like we are right now. And you can actually see, let me just show it again, it's on 49 right now. Let's just run through really quick. And we have like half left. Alright, here we go. Let me just run through it really quick again, so I can show you the spawning of the Hydra. Come on, this way up here. And you can actually see now I get a cooldown. But due to the Hydra spawning all the time, right here, you can also see when it comes up here, right there. Now Unstable Current is off. And that's due to Hydra spawning every time you use mana. It's freaking epic because Blizzard is a high mana outputter. So, and this is just to show you how easy it actually is to run dungeons. Another thing the build can do is it can also run Mephisto with very small changes to your skill tree. You literally have to do none, actually. Just have to change around your enchantments. But by doing it this way, you can actually see we can farm the Scorpion and CS Reach quite efficiently. And whenever cooldown gets off, we can just change it up. But guys, let me show you the Mephisto fight, right? I'm just going to change this around so it suits me. I'm not really going to change anything I ball lightning on because I don't know. yeah, I've been playing around with it a lot. You can have ball lightning, it doesn't matter. But let's just go and do this. I changed the hotbar a bit off screen. So you can literally see I have the hotbar here. And what you need to run Mephisto is Flame Shield and Meteor. Flame Shield because it triggers whenever he one-shots you, and Meteor just to trigger the teleport. And you can see I won a unbalanced number, so my constellation is not going to trigger. But it doesn't really matter. The damage is extremely high anyway, so I could put ball lightning down here. It doesn't really matter. I could do whatever, whatever suits yourself. You don't have to change the basics of it. And you can see I can even do it with Crown of Illusion. So yeah, let's just check everything here. All right, let's go. And first phase is just like, yeah, come on.
Born of light and of hatred. And to hatred you shall return.
Yeah, be quiet. First phase is first like literally jump around him, make sure you pop your shields. Try to stay behind him if you can. A lot of his mechanics is in the front of him. And yeah, sped it up a bit so you don't have to watch the entire thing. Then we could sit here watching a video for an hour.
So be it. You want the truth of what
No, I don't.
Am. Let all illusions burn.
Alright guys, when you get to phase 2, just to run in a circle around. I like to actually wait to go into the middle, because I want him to not spawn the shadow first. I want him to spawn blood, as you saw there, and then shadow, because then I can actually time the shadow and try to avoid it like you saw right there. I would have been one shot there if it wasn't for my flame shield. You can actually see the flame shield cooldown pop.
So much.
And that was phase 2. Let's get to phase 3.
Yes.
And again, this is just to show you the versatility of this build. You do not have to go and change your entire skill tree or change your weapons and change your gloves and anything or boots. You run around with the same build, alright? It's the smallest things you're changing from thing to thing of what you're doing, alright? But when you're doing phase 3, until run to the south, and south is down the screen. When he lifts his hands, start jumping and try to jump around him, not through him, alright? Move opposite side of what he's doing, and then just nuke him from behind. When the heads are popping up, go in between them, right there. And yeah, that's Mephisto, as I'm saying. But again, this was just to show the versatility of this build. You do not need to change the gear. All you gotta do is change it up a small amount of things in your hotbar and your enchantments. We run with 3 enchantments: Ball Lightning, Firewall, 4. Ball Lightning, Firewall, Flame Shield, and Hydra. And Meteor, so 5. It literally comes down to what you want. Oh, I didn't wear the Crown of Illusion. Jesus Christ. But you know what? Let me just change this out to Invocation. I use Invocation for damage reduction. You know what? Yes. All right. You know what? Let me just let me show you the push of a pit, for an example. I'm just gonna take it chill and go slow in here. There's no really need for me to try hard when I'm actually recording. But let me just pause the screen here shortly so you can actually see some of the numbers. Right here you can register. We have 900 Ts, we have 700, 800 Ts. And I'm not even trying. We're on 250 stacks, alright? And here's another screen, like 1172. I see 1200s in there, I see 900s. The numbers are crazy high, right, people? But while we watch the pit push, let's just go through the build, alright? First, we have nothing at the top. We don't use these triggers. And then we have Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning has additional chains and Power Flux. I've actually been trying to mess around with these two and the Chain Whipping, because we are spawning crackling energy from Chain Lightning whenever it critically strikes. And with Power Flux, it's chaining 5 or 6 times, I think it is. Yeah, 6 times. But with Chain Whipping, it's 12 times. So you will actually potentially get more crackling energy. And charge speeds have movement speed, surging charge, and damage bonus, right? So flame shield. We use the flame shield also just to keep us immune, and that's actually what saves our ass a lot of times. It has scourge because we need the damage over time. 1.5 duration. We do not need the overpower stack. We get that from Meteor. And teleport, I have it on. You can have it on Blaze if you want, but I like to have teleport on Electro because it collects in all crackling energy. And due to us not having splintering energy, I think it's called, we are gonna need every sprinkle crackling energy we can have. We also have weaken from teleport, and because we are managing our ferocity a bit different, we can actually have crackling energy from our teleport. Your ice armor should always be 13, 14, 15, 16. I cannot get it lower, so that's why it's so high. And Hydra, we just have these two up here. Remove the spells if you really want to push Pit, but you just change it around like you saw I was doing when I was farming. Lightning Spear, we have that. We have that on projectile speed and chain reaction. That's not right. Oh, it has to be. Oh, jeez, it has to be down here. This is after the pit, by the way. So that's what I was running the pit with. And this is your damage tree. This is where we get our long damage from. And let me show you the thing. 2 seconds. I gotta grab the seal. Yeah, that one. So when I built this build first time, when I did the first iteration, we were using Blizzard as a direct damage trigger with Hailstorm. We got vulnerable from our lightning spears, but when we used Hailstorm, we could actually make crit damage trigger due to the spikes. But I really wanted to make it work with Crown of Illusion, and let me just show you this stupid bug in Blizzard. I'm not wearing anything right now, and you can see I'm casting Blizzard, and my mana's not going up. Now I put my mana shield on, and I do not have anything else, but let's activate Sarasha, just so we get the trigger from the talisman. We have it on Hailstorm right now. Watch what happens to my mana. Right now, Blizzard is labeled as a master skill. Alright. And due to Ring of Starless Sky decreasing the mana output, but also gaining us mana, those two in combination gives us absurd amounts of mana. And it actually makes it possible for me to keep up Crown of Illusion. As you can see right here, I can keep it up. That's why I was so focused around this build to start, because this was a triggering mechanism for the entire build. And then I saw the possibility of gaining ferocity through my necklace. And that would free up balls from ball lightning or balls from and crackling into from teleport. Because we manage it a bit different. You could see it down there. I will show it again later. But with Hailstorm, we could actually keep up the mana. That was freaking amazing. And you're saying, just keep on going. And right now, I'm not wearing any gear, so the attack speed was slow. Let's just put on everything, and you can actually see it here. It's just gonna trigger. It's just gonna keep being there. And then I figured out the way of using exposure to trigger vulnerable. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so... What's going on with my mana? So I found out that there's a bug with the Blizzard in Diablo 4 where when you run it as exposure, you lose the mastery label on your Blizzard. That mastery is not taking effect. As you can see, I changed it back to Hailstorm. I didn't change anything else, and the mana starts going again. So that's a bug mechanic from Blizzard off. I actually wrote to them and told them to fix it, but come on guys, fix it. Or But yeah, I just wanted to show that was the way I was trying to handle this mechanic system before I found the bug, because it would. I found a workaround, but it would loosen up so much potential for more damage output. We had to limit ourselves. But yeah, and that's the way we trigger our ferocity. We use the lightning damage. Again, lucky hit. Every time we do lightning damage, we have 50% chance of triggering. So that's cool because it loosens up. It gives us a chance to actually use these instead of using crackling energy here, and we can get the ball lightnings. Because ball lightning, we need as many of them as we can. And like I showed you earlier, that 20%, it comes from that one. We have orbital crackling energy. We want as much crackling as we can. I showed you Blizzard. It has damage bonus. And then it has seek and duration bonus and exposure, of course, which is our trigger spell for this entire build. So you can also want static field. Then you lose your vulnerable. You can change that by using the amulet. Grounding is absolute must on your firewall. I was running with the wrong glyphs and the wrong everything, so the damage won't show up correctly. It's usually around 350 million. Now I have Crown of Illusion on, and it's 234. But I forgot to change the glyph back to the lightning damage output. I was just wondering why the freak. And there you can see how we handle the overpower stack. It's really easy. One overpower gives 15% damage. So just from that overpower alone, not being used by teleport, because teleport is usually using the overpower, we get 60% of stable damage output. Let's just change this up so I can actually show it to you easier. Because Flame Shield is not using mana. So these doesn't matter, we have weaken from up here, not out there. So that these two doesn't matter because we're not using mana to spawn the firewall, okay? But let me just show you this quick. Right now, ball lightning is 125. One stack of overpower, 127. Alright, that's from one stack. We gain 200. We get 2 million damage, and I went with Crown of Illusion and that seal normally. No, that seal, my attack seal. Oh, that changes up a bit. Yeah, 143. Let's see, and that's 45. Yeah, okay. I didn't notice I was missing the glyph. That was what I was wondering. Unstable, like it is. Extra ferocity, damage bonus, and of course boundless. And we have the Paragon Board. We have the first here with Unleash. I have Unleash on because I want the damage to lead. I cannot, for the god, figure out why I have so little damage output for elites. If some of you can see a solution, please comment. I need more elite damage. We have Static Surge on the second one, again for that mana regeneration. We need it to keep up Crown of Illusion. And then we have Invocation in the second. And this was when I found out why the damage output was so low, because I usually run with Tactician. It gives insane amount of damage output to lightning damage. It gives 90%. But you can run with Invocation if you are squishing, because the Conjuration spells, your 12 lightning spears will still give you damage reduction. But normally I use Tactician. Enchantment Master, which is the thing that gives our enchantments that 7% boost. So you can see here it has 32. And then I remove the Paragon Glyph. And you can see now it's from 25. Those 7% is actually a lot. There's a difference from 1/4 to 1/3. And there you can see now it's, you can see I removed it, I moved it over here. And now you can see the real numbers, 133, 333. So yeah, and that's the correct one. And that's with Invocation, then it's just get way lower. So 70 million from changing one glyph. You're getting more squishy, but you're getting way more damage, alright guys? So, yeah, let's go up here. I showed you these two. Enchantment Master and Elementalist. Again, damage to elites, non-physical damage. We are only doing elemental damage, so why not? Huge damage output. And I need that elite damage. I have no damage for elites. Frigid Fate for vulnerable increasement, and this mastery damage glyph is insane, guys. You should use Adept always and have it on full dexterity. It gives us, it doubles our damage. Look at the difference, man. 86 million on Ball Lightning. Where the heck is it? Here it is. Then we put on Adept again, and we gain 20% and 418%. It's absolutely crazy, guys. So that's the fourth, and Searing Heat. That gives us critical strike chance to all of our skill that deals direct damage, and of course Destruction, which is giving us a ungodly amount of crit strike chance. And you can see it here right now. We have 5,400. I removed Destruction, guys, and it's 3,100. It's so stupid, right? Let's put it back in so it's correct. That's the Paragon Board, guys. The 3 breakpoints you should reach in this build is like 64 attack speed due to the 30 increase from ferocity. Crit strike plus 93, anything is good there. Of course, if you can max everything to 100, it's perfect. And lucky hit chance should also be just around 95, 96, I would say. At 95%, you're gonna reach that 65% trigger on Blizzard, which gives you 2/3 chance of rolling a positive one. If you are lacking, you can make Air of Petition. It's gonna give you absurd amounts of lucky hit. All my lucky hit comes from my Air of Petition almost. I also have lucky hit on most of my crit. But that's again because our build is focused on that. So yeah, guys, let's jump back and take a look at the gear. So the gear is Eldraine. The build is focused around Eldraine. Isu to manage crit strike. Makelord to manage reductions. Elemental Constellation. Infinite. Air of Petition. This is our Urban Code. That's the thing that triggers everything. Serenity Mason Core and Cube of Armageddon. That in total gives me like 69.8, and that lucky hit, the lightning damage, is what manages the attack speed bonus. Critical strike 90. Oh, 2 seconds. Let me just run out here. So I can show you why. Because I do not have full movement speed. That means that my my crit strike right now is on 90. But okay, 2 seconds. Let me put that in. There you go, 95. 99. Shit, that's a big difference. But I reach 99 when I use my charge bolt from Isu. I use Tipular Will to handle mana on single target damages. But let me just show you this. Charge bolt. Let me put it down here. So 4 charge bolts, and that's on full speed increase. So I'm gonna throw it 4 times, and I have a crit strike chance of 99%. So my attack speed bonus is 99.8, and my crit is 99. Unstable is 61. Let's put it down again. So yeah. Focus on the lucky hit chance. It's the triggering mechanisms for everything all down here, because the lucky hit triggers the lucky hit, which triggers lucky hit, which trigger, and combined with the unstable, and that's why we're using the Blizzard. Blizzard is a little bit faster, and therefore the triggering mechanisms of Firewall and Ball Lightning, which comes from Meteor and your Flame Shield being burning damage, but it also triggers from Tarash's power, because it now unleashes all mastery skills, and Firewall is a mastery skill. You can also use Chain, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. This is the way I manage the build. I will also try to upload a video on Mobalytics, I think it's called. But yeah. It doesn't matter. Not 258 again, why? I don't know. 258. 310. What's going on now? I don't know. But yeah. These are the two powerhouses. You see that was a mastery skill. But guys, a short video about the build. Thank you for showing so much interest in it. It's pretty cool to see something that I just did for fun. Be the only one in top 30 on Helltides, completing a pit 150. I would love to show the Haradrim Cube too, but guys, I think it's time to say goodbye for this time. Again, thank you so freaking much for watching. Give me some comments, and as Assenai said so fine, see you in game, guys.